Inspire inclusion as the campaign theme is basic, it's direct, and it's just right. Because the reality is that women have been left behind for too long, and we collectively, whether you are a man, and more importantly, our men, should inspire inclusion. And of course, as women as well, be ready to be included. And we should also inspire inclusion by, carrying ourselves along, even as women. So it's not enough to campaign that we should inspire inclusion, but as women as well, we should inspire inclusion amongst ourselves so that we can encourage more women to be relevant in the society. And when you talk about relevance, it's not only about political offices, political, when you contest an election or political appointments. Even economically, we should inspire inclusion, ensure that the woman out there is okay. Because the society as it is today, the way we are programmed, especially in Nigeria, let me be peculiar with Nigeria, it's very important for our women to be properly empowered in every ramification, because the society starts from the home. Once you don't get it right in the home, you don't get it right out there. So every society emanates from the home, from the unit, from the home. So it is different homes that makes the society. And once the woman in the home is okay, the children will be automatically fine, because the men will have less to worry about. And of course, it's important for everybody to be okay. So being okay is not about getting employed by government or by whichever means, but you can be okay even by being self-employed. You can be okay by having basic knowledge of empowerment. You can be okay by being knowledgeable about what you can create yourself. So there are different phases, different levels of empowerment, in relation to the caliber of the people we are talking about. But generally, as Nigerians, we must all inspire inclusion if we want Nigeria to get to a desired destination. Because women, once they are empowered, the country will be perfect. And women, Nigerian women, constitute close to 50% of the entire population. And a nation that decides to underutilize about half of our population will not be getting anywhere. Well, to improve the participation of women, you can see that today the motion on International Women's Day was moved by a man.
Yes.
And this goes a long way to show that the men in the 10th Assembly, the leadership of the 10th Assembly, are gender sensitive. They are with us, they are supporting us, and they are ready to go all out to ensure that the status quo does not remain the same. The status quo in this regard is that in many states, as we speak today in Nigeria, men are represented in many states, and you will find no woman there. For instance, I am from Lagos State. We had 20 men. It was 20 over 20. Not until now. 24 over 24. Not until now that I came in. Now we have 23. Just one woman. So you can see this is how, the ratio had been across board. So, and the 10th Assembly is very committed. They are positive and they are ready. They have the political will to support us, to revisit the gender bills. And this is what the gentleman, Honourable Isa Abarura, that moved the motion today, prayed for, that we should revisit the gender bills, all the legislations that had to do with, our women generally in this country. We should revisit them and reanalyze and review. So, and, that had been referred to the House Committee on Women Affairs to ensure compliance. So we are going to start to work immediately to ensure that, the status quo does not remain the same. We need legislative support. We need legislative intervention. We need the real laws that will spell out that indeed it should be an abomination. It should be a taboo that will have only men, single gender list for legislative offices across all our states in this country. With INEC, with our political parties, we need political party reforms. We need all the relevant stakeholders to come on board to agree with us that every state, no state must henceforth submit single gender list for legislative offices at the state level, at the local government level, and at the federal level. There must at least representation of the opposite sex
No state should present all women as House of Assembly members. No state should present all men as House of Assembly members. There must be that semblance of proper inclusion. And this is why we are saying that you should inspire inclusion. And these are areas where, as a nation, we can inspire inclusion. Definitely, you've answered the question yourself, because if you are trying to stop an act and then the penalty is nothing to write home about, people can continue to commit the crime and say, oh, I can just pay off. So that's the essence of that amendment, of which we increased from paltry sum of 100,000, 200,000 to millions. So that's the position of that law, and we have amended it. We have gone through the second reading, and we are very sure that it will scale through.